Hi everybody, I'm Kilo Cordova, and welcome to this week's edition of the Major Rundown. Remember, every single week it's about Millsaps athletics. Also, you can catch us on the air every Wednesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. on Metro TV and on the web at gomajors.com and on the Millsaps Athletics YouTube channel. Here's what you'll see on this week's edition of the Major Rundown.
On this week's show, we'll recap the Southern Athletic Association Women's Basketball Tournament Championship game between Millsaps and Rhodes College. It was an amazing game. You do not want to miss these highlights. Then we'll turn to baseball and get to know Millsaps infielder Kevin Wall. And then we'll meet the captain of the men's tennis team, Malte Schick from Hamburg, Germany. All that on this week's Major Rundown.
Here's what happened last week around the Major Nation.
As Millsaps Sports Information Director Dan Griffin described it, the first ever SAA Southern Athletic Association Women's Basketball Tournament Championship game between the Millsaps Majors and Rhodes College was definitely one for the ages. This trophy would be the prize, along with a possible at-large bid to the D3 National Tournament. This was the top two seeds in the tourney, Millsaps #1 and Rhodes #2, and this game was a barn burner throughout, with Rhodes holding a slim 1-point advantage at halftime, 31-30. For the Majors in the first half, senior Shante Morton, playing in maybe her final game, led the charge with 11 points. Velvet Johnson and Michaela Roberson chipped in 7 apiece in half #1. As the two teams gathered their nerves of steel for the second half battle, and I do mean battle, Millsaps head coach Chuck Winkleman must have had some magic words as the Majors roared out of the locker room like a team possessed and took a quick 7-point lead, 39-32, early in the second half. Freshman Maya Brooks got the run started with this goal underneath. Then the senior, Shante Morton, takes over. She nails this three-pointer. Shante was an amazing 3 of 3 from three-point land. And seconds later, Shante gets this defensive rebound. She heads up court. Michaela Robertson misses the three-point shot, but Shante is there for the rebound and the putback. Majors are now on top, 37-32. And then only seconds later, Michaela connects on this shot, and Millsaps is up by 7, 39-32 at the 17:27 mark. And when Maya Brooks hit this jumper at 14:37, the Majors were up by 8 at 43-35, and they looked to be in control. But in college basketball these days, as everyone knows, no lead is safe with the three-pointer. Rhodes bombed away, hitting 3 straight threes and a 2, and they retook the lead at 46-45 with just over 11 minutes to play, and the war was really on. Rhodes kept up the pace and forged a 6-point lead at 54-48 with 6.5 minutes left in the game. But Millsaps starts another comeback. Senior Lovey Love gets 2 critical free throws. Then the freshman Michaela Robertson hits several amazingly acrobatic shots down the stretch. This shot cut the Rhodes lead to 2 at 54-52, and the Majors' home fans were going crazy. Sophomore Velvet Johnson hit a couple of free throws, and Michaela put in another jumper. And then Shante battled underneath for this bucket, which gave Millsaps the lead again at 58-57. Michaela stretched that lead to 3 at 60-57 with this unbelievable jumper. And remember, Major fans, this girl is just a freshman. But Rhodes comes back again and takes a 65-61 lead. But don't go home yet, folks, with 4 seconds left. Michaela strikes gold with this clutch three-pointer to close the gap to just 1 point at 65-64. What a game. But in the end, Rhodes holds on for a 66-64 win and the first ever Southern Athletic Association Conference Tournament Championship. But despite the Millsaps loss, this was an amazing college basketball game. Both teams shooting 46% from the field. The senior, Shantae Morton, went out in style with a major double-double, 19 points and 10 rebounds. And even though this was her last game as a Millsaps major, she was the one consoling the rest of the Millsaps majors. Unfortunately, the majors did not receive an at-large bid to the D3 National Tournament, but regardless, a great season for the Millsaps majors women's basketball team. 3 were named to the All-Conference team. Sophomore Velvet Johnson and freshman Michaela Robertson were named to the second team, and freshman Maya Brooks was named All-Conference Honorable Mention. And again, as SID Dan Griffin wrote after the game, "Thanks, girls, it was fun." The Millsaps men's basketball team was competing in the Southern Athletic Association Conference Tournament as well over the weekend. That tourney played at Center College in Danville, Kentucky. On Friday night in the first round, the majors seeded number 7 in the tourney upset number 2 Rhodes College, 62-58 the final score. The senior Nick Cortese led the charge with 17 points, but Tully Gilligan had an outstanding game with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. Great game for the junior out of Ocala, Florida. Then on Saturday in the semifinal round, the majors fell out of the tournament, losing to a powerful Birmingham Southern team, 63-47 the final there. Elsewhere around the major nation over the weekend, the men's lacrosse team on Saturday beat Dallas 15-6. Majors took 44 shots on goal. Junior Hunter Stevenson had 5 goals on the day. The men's lacrosse team now 2-1 early in the season. On Saturday in baseball, the baseball team in Montgomery, Alabama, they beat Capital 13-2. Senior Will Edwards went the distance on the mound, striking out 7. Isaac Glenn had 4 hits, and Keith Shoemaker belted a grand slam in the 4th inning. Then on Sunday, a doubleheader. The majors beat Huntington 9-7 and then beat Franklin 8-3. Majors now 7-2 early in the season. In tennis on Saturday, the men's tennis team beat Huntington 6-3, and then on Sunday they beat Birmingham Southern 5-4. The majors won the top 3 singles matches, and the majors are now 2-1 on the season. Also on Sunday, the women's tennis team lost to Birmingham Southern 5-4. And in softball over the weekend, the majors won 2 out of 3 games last weekend. On Saturday, they beat Centenary 10-2. Then they lost to Letourneau 7-0. Then on Sunday, they came back and beat Centenary once again 15-5, pounding out 18 hits. Abby Joyner had a 4-hit day for the Millsaps Majors softball team. That's a look at what happened last weekend around the Millsaps Major Nation. Coming up next on the Major Rundown, we'll get to know Millsaps baseball infielder Kevin Wall. It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
It's really experience. It's hard to describe. It's definitely a little bittersweet. Just knowing that I've been playing baseball, I don't know, close to 18 years now, something like that, and just the feeling that this might be the last year, probably will be the last year. It's a little bittersweet, but I really can't wait for next weekend. Really excited.
Now, talk to us about how you personally get yourself either ready. We'll start just generally. How do you get yourself ready for the season? I know you guys play a lot of fall ball. You guys have been working both in the cage and weather permitting out on the field. But how do you personally, Kevin, get yourself ready for the season?
Well, we all work hard in the weight room in the fall, and each day just try to mentally prepare myself. I think that's one thing that we do a good job of stressing is really the mental side of the game. You can do everything physically, but if the mental side isn't there, then I don't believe you're going to perform. So I try to each day just get my mind collected, try to have some goals for what I want to do each day, and set out and try to accomplish those.
Now, I know that, like you said, the mental aspect can be kind of just as draining, if not more so, than the physical part of the game. Is there anything as far as like a routine or superstition? I know that baseball players are wild with them. Is there anything that you do that kind of before the at-bat or before you take the field or even before the game that kind of puts you into the right mindset?
Well, I definitely have a at-bat routine.
Okay.
I like to step in the box. I usually try to clear out the right foot a little bit, make sure that everything's smooth. I'm really short, so I try to make sure there's no holes and try to make myself shorter, but tap both sides of the plate, get a couple of bat swings, and try to focus on what I'm trying to do.
Well, getting into this non-conference season, how much stock do you put into either you personally getting off to a fast start? I know some ball players, notorious slow starts, then pick it up as the weather gets warmer. Do you put a lot of stock into getting off to a fast start?
Well, one thing that Coach Page preaches is just to respect the process and not focus so much on the results. I definitely would love to start off hot as anybody else, but if I can go out there and put myself in good situations, having quality at bats, doing everything mentally and physically that I can to prepare, and then after that you just let it go and see what happens.
Now, is there any one ball player either that you've played with in the past or a professional ball player that you kind of have modeled your game after? I mean, like a Craig Biggio type, considering you're an undersized middle infielder?
I've had a lot of people tell me Dustin Pedroia.
Okay.
I'm a big Pedroia fan, big Braves fan, but Pedroia in particular. We're both small guys. Like to think we're scrappy. Always end up covered in dirt a lot of games, and that's how I like to play. Is just all out, all the time.
Well, can you give us any goals for yourself personally going into this senior year? I mean, is from as grand as hitting 500 to just I'm going to do this, or this?
Well, just as a senior, I think that the leadership. I definitely want to be an on-field leader. I want to be somebody that people can look to and say, even when things are going wrong, he still has himself collected. Like I said, just the process. I want to have quality at bats, and I want to be mentally prepared. I know that I'm going to make physical mistakes, whether it be errors, base running mistakes, what have you, but I definitely want to be mentally sound and not make mental mistakes and turn small things into large things.
Give us a quick intro about where you grew up and born and raised.
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I pretty much always lived there. There was a brief 6-month stint where I lived in Georgia when I was little, but I don't count that. I went to Shays Valley High School, went to the IB program there, and I came to Millsaps. A good buddy of mine came here. He was the second baseman at my high school before I was, and I wasn't planning on coming here, but in the entire 3.5 years he was here, before I decided to come, was on me. Come to Millsaps, come to Millsaps, come to Millsaps, and ultimately that's decided where I decided to come, and I haven't regretted it.
Well, when you were playing in high school, did you think that you'd have another 4 years left in you at the college ranks, or did you just think high school, if I can't turn pro, that's it, I'm done?
Well, I certainly wanted to be a college player. I actually didn't decide to come to Millsaps until I think the 1st of May. There were several schools, junior colleges that I was talking to, but I really wanted to go to a 4-year program. And going in, even to the last week of the season, I wasn't sure if I'd get to play. And I came up here for a visit, and they said, we'd love to have you, and haven't looked back since.
Well, 4 years later, I think it's a pretty good decision.
I think so. It's worked out pretty well for me.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much.
Thank you.
big serve off.
It's a new day in Jackson television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV.
If you ever stop by to check out the men's tennis team here at Millsaps, don't be surprised if you hear a little bit of German being shouted. That's just the captain, Malte Schick, who comes to us from Germany and hopes to lead the team into a victorious season this year.
I'm from Hamburg, Germany.
What's it like over there?
Well, it's quite different. You know, the weather. It's much colder, and mixed weather over there. We have a lot of rain during the year. Nothing like Mississippi, where it's humid and above the hundreds pretty much every summer.
What brings you to such a contrasting place like Mississippi?
Well, I did a foreign exchange here in 2006, and I picked two states that I'd like to land in, and it was actually Florida and California. That's like the biggest two states you hear about when you're in Germany. So I signed up for that exchange program, and I randomly landed in Monroe, Louisiana, which is 2 hours away from here. I had a great time. My host family is probably the best host family you could imagine. It's unbelievable, my relationship I have with them. We still meet up regularly, go to vacation together, and well, since I enjoyed it so much in Louisiana, I kind of wanted to come back to the South just because of, you know, all the nice things they have down here. So after I went back to Germany and finished high school there, I decided to I wanted to play tennis for an American college. And so I visited Millsaps actually during some October in 2009. I really liked the small community, and that's all landed here.
How'd you hear about Millsaps?
Well, since I did that foreign exchange here in 2006 in Monroe, a few guys and girls actually went here. So they were actually 2 classes above me and told me how enjoyable Millsaps is and how great that the education is. And since I'm a business major with a finance concentration, I really enjoyed the visit, and the business program really did it to me.
How long have you been playing tennis?
Well, I've started playing tennis when I was 8 or 9 years old, I think. I played much more soccer than tennis, but I guess I couldn't do both, so I decided to play tennis here, and I really enjoy it.
How do you like the tennis format here at Millsaps as opposed to in your home country?
Well, you see, the first thing about American college is that they have college sports. They don't have that in Germany. So that was a really new experience for me, I would say, that you know, it's all that supporting, that cheering for each other, that going out to football games, baseball games, and support your classmates and, you know, the people that represent Millsaps. So that was a very new experience for me, and I love it. You know, it's a great thing. I think that you can support each other, that you got each other's back. It's a neat thing.
How does a team like the Millsaps tennis team enhance your stay here at Millsaps?
Well, you know, we have our new coach, Coach Box, has given us a few bracelets. You know, it says, one of them says, "One passion, one team, one journey," and the other one says, "Actually take the moment." You know, it's gotten a family for me. It's, you know, all 6 or 7 guys on the team is really close, good friends. You know, Adam Tilley is probably one of my best friends here at Millsaps. He's actually also my roommate. We're having a great time, and it's just, you know, they just embrace it, and we just have a great time.
What motivates you to be the best?
Well, I just strive for perfection. I wouldn't say necessarily perfection, but I just love to be the best. And either if it's playing cards with Adam Tilley in my room, we always fight about who wins, and it doesn't really matter if it's in the classroom. I always strive to make A's, and I guess that's a personality trait of mine that I'm a really competitive guy, and that's how it is.
Is that a common mindset among your teammates?
It is. We all are very competitive. Our coach always says that we might not be the best players with the best skills, but we are the most competitive, the fittest team in our conference, and I think that describes the team pretty well.
I think with Malte, the level of intensity that he brings to our practices and our matches, it's easy to be intense at matches, but in practice, to expect a lot out of your teammates, to kind of lead by example. His goal is to always be first in sprints, to be the best player out there every day in practice. He doesn't want to have anybody on the team kind of take his #1 spot, and that's what you need from a leader and from a #1 player.
Do you see the other team members embracing his role as leader?
Absolutely. Sometimes that can, if someone is in your face a little bit about working hard, that can turn players off. But usually with Malte, the fact that he's working just as hard as what he expects out of his teammates, I think is very much a lead by example. Even though he's talking the talk, he's also walking the walk, and that's what players respect. And I think our young guys can see how the effort that he puts in, and they know that if they want to be #1 on the team, if they want to be one of the better players in the region, then they've got to kind of be the same way when they get out on court and work and practice the same way that he does.
Coach Box is really young. He's I don't know, 26, 27, somewhere around that, and he knows how it is to be a college student. So the things he tells us, and the improvements, our talks, they just really build upon that. That he understands how we think. He understands our schedule, that we're very busy. We have other social stuff going on. All that impacts you a lot as a tennis player. So with that understanding, he just gives the best advice, and he's also just a really cool guy to hang out with. So it's been a lot of fun.
Can you describe your role in the tennis team?
Well, I'm a senior. I'm also the captain of the team, and I play #1 for Millsaps. I started right off when I came here as a freshman. I started playing as #1 seed, and it was a lot of pressure in the beginning. Especially as a freshman, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really speak English that well. It was kind of confusing in the beginning. But now that I'm a senior, I love leading the team. I had great victories last year against Swanee and Birmingham Southern. That were huge victories for me that I really enjoyed, and I just kind of built up on that. I'd like to lead the team, be the guy that motivates them, that gets the team together and just do well.
Who's your favorite tennis player right now?
It's kind of hard. I've always been kind of a Nadal guy, but I just love the way he plays. He's really competitive. He's very powerful. He's, I guess, pretty much the opposite of Federer, who's more like the elegant player, who's a little more touch maybe. But I just really enjoy seeing good matches, especially on TV. Now the US Open are on, and I just love seeing great battles. But I'd say overall it's probably Nadal.
It's a big serve, Malte.
It's a new day in Jackson Television. We are Metro TV, serving Madison, Rankin, and Hinds counties with a local flavor. It's all about local people, local places, local events, local business, and local fun. You'll see your friends, your neighbors, and your family on Metro TV. Our goal is to showcase the positive aspects of life in the Jackson metro area, from Brandon and Pearl to Madison, Ridgeland, Flowood, Clinton, Raymond, and Jackson. We'll provide professional quality, informative, entertaining, and fun programming specifically serving the Tri-County metro area. So get to know us. We are Metro TV. Now, here's a look at the schedule of events for this weekend around the Millsaps Major Nation. First of all, the men's lacrosse team on Saturday will be in Birmingham for a 3 p.m. match against Young Harris. The men's lacrosse team 2-1 early in the season. Then on Friday, the men's and women's tennis teams will take off on a road trip to Texas. On Friday, they'll take on Texas Tyler in a 4 p.m. match. Then on Saturday, still in Texas, they'll be at Laterno at 9 a.m. and at East Texas Baptist for a 3 p.m. match. So a big road trip to Texas for the men's and women's tennis teams. On Friday, the men's and women's track teams will participate in the Mississippi College Opener. Then the softball team will be at home this weekend for doubleheaders on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, first of all, they'll take on Webster at 10 a.m., then Centenary at 12 p.m. And on Sunday, they'll play Webster at 12 p.m. and Centenary at 2 p.m. So the softball team at home at Millsaps this weekend. Then the men's golf team will participate in the Mississippi College Invitational at Delhi, Louisiana. That is set for Sunday this weekend. So that's what's happening this weekend around the Millsaps Major Nation.